Good day, everyone. It's Meredith Leon McCormick for World Bride Magazine, and we are continuing with our series. And I am so excited about introducing you to this extraordinary young woman that has been in the game for 15 years. She doesn't look like it, but I promise you, she is mature enough to handle any of your wedding and special occasions. This is Miss Hayley Paige, where I'm going to let her tell her story and you're going to continue to follow her. Hi, Hayley. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm wonderful. It's such an honor to meet you again and in hearing your story and sharing it with our readers. So I'm going to begin by letting you tell us your full name and the name of your company and how long you've been in business.
Yes, well, I am Hayley Paige. I am a wedding dress designer. The brand is called Hayley Paige, and I've been in this fabulous industry for over 15 years. I had a little hiatus in there where we did shoes. But yeah, that's me.
Wow. So what inspired you to get into this industry in the first place?
I was very lucky to have a grandmother that exposed me to all kinds of creativity from a young age, from baking to sewing, all kinds of home ec. I
Hmm.
feel like she spoke fluent craft, and I was the beneficiary of that. So I would like to think that my attraction to wedding dresses and design almost came from this innate attraction to it and just wanting to be creative and kind of use that as my way to communicate with people.
Okay, there you go. So you inherited. That was her inheritance to you, that gift, that talent, that blessing.
Yes, I like to think so.
So how long have you known that this was a gift and you wanted to share it with the rest of the world?
I definitely saw it as something I was drawn to just from a happiness and joyful standpoint.
Hmm.
I don't think I really recognized it as something that was a viable profession or something that could be considered a gift
Hmm.
until a lot later in life. I really benefited from my college experience and kind of getting some validation.
Hmm.
And I would say that big moment for me happened when I actually got to deliver designs to brides around the world and just get their feedback and really their follow through because not all art forms require that response. And in what I do, there's such a sentimental attachment.
Hmm.
And so I really rely on the bride in carrying the story and kind of completing the story. So it's a bit collaborative in that way, and
Right.
that's where I see it as a gift.
Wow. So you mentioned that you're all over the world. How do you feel when you say that out loud? That you're not a local designer, you're not a mom and pop anymore in the sense of just your community knows you, the whole world knows you. How does that make you feel?
Oh, it's so wild. I don't think there's really something where I become accustomed to that just because I really do live in such a small, environment and I like having my, doodles and tricks and visuals around me. And then when I kind of step out of it, it just feels larger than life in a lot of ways. And it's so inspiring and encouraging, but it's hard to not feel like, whoa, like this is so incredible to have this kind of response and support and to be out there in that way is just really such a privilege that I feel blessed to be a part of.
So there was a time you said you had a hiatus. Do you feel comfortable telling us what was happening and why did you take that hiatus?
Yes, I do. This was a litigation that started from a contract dispute. And it was something I never anticipated, but it created a pretty large pivot in my professional and I would say spiritual journey in a lot of ways because I was under some pretty restrictive provisions that tied me back to a contract I had signed at 25 without a lawyer. And that led to a period where I couldn't actually use my name in any business or commerce, my birth name. And then I was being held under a non-compete. So that was difficult to be kind of, separated from my craft in that way. And then I also was fighting for my Instagram and social media accounts that also bared my name. So it was a very complex moment in time. And I learned a lot about protecting yourself and understanding that we only know what we know. And so it's so great to kind of think ahead and set yourself up for success in terms of what precedents you're setting in your career. And luckily, I had a very positive settlement, a legal settlement in a bankruptcy court. And that is what allowed me to rebrand and use my name again. So I'm in a much, I like to say I'm after the storm now. So it's definitely a lot more digestible to share.
Mhm. And so now, doesn't that make you even more passionate and committed to the brand that you built on the sweat of your grandmother's legacy, your hard work, and your team's hard work, and all that you've put into it?
Absolutely. I really resonate with the idea that I've kind of got a pebble in my boot now,
Mm.
which is kind of symbolic of just the grit and the defiance that comes from a
Mhm,
really difficult chapter and fighting for things that I just wanted in my life.
mhm,
And I like to think that now when I use my pen or I'm sketching or I'm contributing, that it's just a sharper perspective on it all. And the idea that there was a period of real grief where I felt like I lost it, to
mhm.
have it back is all the more treasure filled. And I just want to hold it tight, you
Good
know?
for you. Good for you. And the reason why I really wanted to ask that question to the public publicly and let them hear your story, because I believe from my experience of over 30 years in the fashion world that people think that artists and talent, that we just randomly skip through life and, oh, I'm drawing, oh, I'm making dresses, oh, I'm polishing nails, oh, I'm doing makeup, oh, I'm doing a magazine, and it's very willy-nilly. And because we present it in such a beautiful way, that they think that it's easy. They don't see the hard work and the challenges that you face behind building this brand. And they tend, some, not all, tend to question your pricing and what costs are involved without knowing the cost you've already paid for in order to stay there, even if you do it in love. So I want people to understand, when they buy a Hayley Paige item, whether it's shoes, garment, your dresses, they're part of your ethos now. They are now privileged, and you are privileged and you desire to want to serve and share with them this gift, and that's why they should invest in your art, your garment, whatever it is that you're selling, you know.
Thank you. I definitely agree with everything you just said, in that this really is a collaboration style of art.
Mhm,
And there's a lot of emotion that goes into it and a lot of discipline with respect to being high craft.
mhm,
And especially in this medium, there is so much storytelling to be had.
mhm,
And I think that's the best way to really connect with people, is communicating through design and through art and finding that common thread and then letting them kind of run with it.
right.
So I've always kind of approached that from a process
Mhm.
more than a product standpoint.
Mm.
So it's like they're not just stepping into the dress, they're stepping into an experience and into this moment that is so meaningful to them. So it's so important to take that with care and
Mhm.
make sure that all this dedication and discipline and skill set goes into it.
Mhm. And I look at it also as, when someone picks up a copy of the magazine or reads one of our articles or likes one of our posts, that and we get these beautiful letters saying like, "Oh my God, your magazine inspired my wedding, was inspirational part of my wedding." I take that very personal. I feel like I was an invited guest into one of their most special day of their lives, you know? And I'm sure you feel the same way.
Absolutely.
When they buy your dress, you are now an invited guest to be part of this love story.
Absolutely. It is such a big deal.
Mhm.
And to this day, I just feel so lucky to be on this journey, but to be getting the experience over and over again with this milestone moment. And I just do not take it lightly. And I think I am such an emotional and vulnerable designer.
Mhm.
So that is just something I pay gratitude to every single day.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations and thank you so much for your time. I can't wait to share with the readers some of the collection that you're going to have. I'd love to show them some of the past stuff, your favorite stuff, so they're going to have to come back and read it in the magazine and online. So my last question to you is what do they have in store for the upcoming season?
Oh, yes. Well, this particular collection was a bit of a revival. So there
Mhm,
is a playful mixture in some of those iconic Hayley Paige silhouettes and textures that kind of came to be almost like vintage
mhm,
examples of our DNA, right? Our design DNA. And then I wanted to also bring the collection forward aesthetically because it's been 5 years since the last collection drop,
mhm.
6 years since my last runway debut. And that just made it this passive time think about it and how it transformed.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
so I wanted to also have that freshness to it and a real strong perspective. So I hope there's a little bit of something for everyone, even though I know you can't be everything to everyone.
Right.
There are a lot of specifics. And I think that's where the riches are. It's in the niches, and those little moments that just speak to people and are really fine-tuned.
I love it. I'm excited. I can't wait to share it with our readers. And again, I want to tell you congratulations and you're inspirational to me as a businesswoman. Yes, there's a lot of people that make beautiful dresses, but when I hear stories like yours as a woman in business trying to share your gift with others, it's such an honor to tell your story. And you're the sort of people that we want people to fall in love with the brand and be part of the legacy that you're building.
Oh, thank you so much.
My pleasure. So please tell us, where can our readers find you, follow you, and keep up with you?
Yes, so mostly on Instagram these days at Miss Hayley Page. I also have all the glitters on the gram, and then our shoe brand is She is Cheval. Our nonprofit is a Girl You Might Know Foundation. So for the most part, that's it. And then HayleyPage.com if you want to look at our gallery of brand new dresses.
I love
But it
it.
was such a pleasure speaking with you.
Yay. And we're going to have more conversations. I can't wait to see you at Bridal Market. So thank you so much for everything that you're doing and best of luck.
Same to you. See you soon.
See you soon. Guys, that is Miss Hayley Page. You guys know I love the people that I interview because I handpick them because I feel their story resonates with us and the mission that World Bride Magazine is all about. And you deserve to know all the behind the scenes of every brand that you invest in. So please stay tuned until the next time. Ciao, Bella.